My friend Lily got an offer at a startup that she was really excited about. It was super aligned with her goals, but the problem was that she was already signed to a big tech company. So she didn't really know what to do in this situation, and she started asking around for advice. She calls her boss, and her boss gets really mad at her and says that if she revokes her contract, she'd be betraying the company and that she's going to ruin her reputation across all big tech companies in the future. She calls her dad, and her dad says, "Lily, you should just drop both jobs. We've talked about this already. Go do your master's." And then finally, she calls her uncle, who's been working in tech for a while, and her uncle actually suggests that she does go and move to the startup. All of these people were advising her on the same situation. How could their advice be so different? Well, it starts to make a lot more sense once you start to look at their context. So these people are all optimizing for different things and coming from different experiences and personal histories, and this is leading them to give vastly different advice. Lily's boss is definitely biased toward Lily staying at the company, and her very emotional delivery, seeming like she's almost emotionally manipulating Lily to stay, also hints at the fact that she might not have Lily's best interests in mind. Lily's dad wants nothing but the best for her, so he doesn't have an ulterior agenda here, but it's important to look at the context in which he grew up in. When her dad was starting his career in finance, having a master's degree could completely change the trajectory of your career, so it was something really important to prioritize. But that logic just doesn't apply to startups and tech in general because people don't really care about your degree or pedigree, they just care about work experience and your output. Because of this, her dad's advice isn't totally applicable to her situation either, since he's optimizing for prestige in a time that has passed. Now, let's consider Lily's uncle's advice. Lily's uncle regrets not taking risk earlier on in his career, and he says that even if the startup doesn't work out, with all the job opportunities in tech right now, Lily will easily be able to find another job. Similar to Lily's dad, her uncle just wants the best for her, but the context of him having worked in tech his whole life and being more familiar with the startup space probably makes his advice much more useful here. Instead of asking who's right, the question becomes whose advice is most applicable to the life that I'm trying to build for myself. Lily's boss doesn't care too much about her growth, but is optimizing much more for team stability. Lily's dad is optimizing for a version of success that worked in a different time and in a different industry. And her uncle is trying to prevent regret in the exact career path that she's trying to follow. It makes most sense for Lily to take the advice of her uncle and move to the startup, and that's exactly what she did.